And welcome back, one and all, to Pillars of Eternity, where we are currently in the Brackenbury Sanitarium. You know what? This place is not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be kind of more of a horror show sanitarium than an actual place where they're trying to learn things. What your soul may be trying to tell you. Oh my goodness, it sounds like a diet book. You're welcome to browse. The spread of knowledge is a healthy thing. Don't you agree? I do agree. What's this? Animancy in the modern age. Yeah, we'll grab that. Did I take it? Yes, I did. Good. We'll bring them back, of course. I'm only borrowing them. The Animancer straightens his robes and gives you a nod. Welcome to the finest Animancy Center in the Deerwood. Ooh. The Midwife's Memoirs. I will take those. And Psalms to Boudica. Take that too. We see quite a few Brackenbury locals for treatment. It helps fund our research. I'm sure it does. Sanitarium guard. I wouldn't mind being better armed, so what if it makes the clients a little nervous? Well, you know, they're probably already in a kind of an agitated state. You probably don't want to make that worse. These look like the field sketches of Ingwithian ruins and artifacts. Adir Customs. Yeah, sure, we'll take that. I will never pass up a book. I might not read half of them, but I will pick them up. This painting of a rolling forest glen has strangely soothing effects. I like that. Okay, well, down the stairs we go. This music's rather ominous, though. Okay. Let's go into stealth mode. You know what? I should have probably been doing that up above as well. But let's just remain stealthy. Because it might allow us to find secrets. First room on the right. So that would be Mordred's place. Sanitarium guard. I've never thought I'd be taking orders from a talking statue. You get used to these sorts of things. Now. Oh, sorry. Belisage. Oh, this is the person we wanted to talk to for Aloth. They have a cage. That doesn't fill me with confidence. Can Belisage just not see me? I saw something. Wow, they're remarkably unobservant. This strange device seems to thrum with power. Hello, Belisage.
Greetings.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pulls over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Ikosi, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I don't see the kith standing right in front of me. What can I do? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ech, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in... buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. Is Aloth actually volunteering? She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Galad, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. The one that's thrumming with power. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Ooh, okay. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. I like this. This is funny. I'm sorry, Aloth, but the rest of us are just going to be leaning over here on the wall, just chuckling amongst ourselves. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels turn along the side of the device. It is fitted with Ardra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Khan peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Suitably complicated. Ah, that's fantastic. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. Ah, you're a charming fellow eater. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Talk for yourself, Sagani. Glindur is all ears. I imagine Kana is as well. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in Seathwood. He looks to you, his face set in a frown, but the rigid eyes of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. Oh wow, we're actually having an effect. He closes his eyes. Mother is away from most of the time, with the Thanes family, but I always know when she's coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her hemneg to another man supports us better than his labours as a steward. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I'm in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she's around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. That my flame shields are unstable. He's furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my own blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Madicho. Or Madicho, I guess it could be. We'll go with Madicho, because I prefer that. Belisage furiously cranks the knobs along the scope. He's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You've got to bring him out of it, quickly. I almost have it. What should we do? No, don't slap him. Well, it might give him a sharp shock. Squeeze his hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's ne'er safe when I hap upon him. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence, something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over the scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belefto, we have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto a page next to her and turns one cranking knob of her scope. Now, try to get 2 of them talking. Okay, well, I'm talking directly to Isilmir. Isilmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie? He's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in a shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes. Very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to the scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. She prompts you with the circling of her wrists. Wrist quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isilmir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. Oops, sorry, I couldn't hold that one in. You should ask what I did with that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us. I break it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with ye. And damned if I'll let your ninnying drag us both through the scrapper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high-density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Sagani's eyes are wide and innocent. It does seem as though she got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. Okay, let's have a look here. If you're right, then removing Aloth's spleen would... This is the problem with this place. I imagine they've removed a few spleens before. Aloth's right, that's absurd. Isilmir obviously shows up when he feels threatened. You're close. I think Isilmir's appearance are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. Isilmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. Now, let's praise her. Let's be diplomatic about this. She is close. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She drops another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does that mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Okay. She's looking for me to tell. When did I become the Animancer expert, damn it? Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. It seems that Isilmir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is to help or hindrance. Well, what the Animancer said is that Isilmir fills the spaces that he creates. And she did do him a favor in a way. Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. See, I'm cautious of what I say here because I've played a game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and there's a somewhat similar quest line and story in that. Now, I don't want anyone posting spoilers in the comments. If you played the game and know what I'm talking about, then that's cool because you know what I'm talking about. But don't spoil it for anyone because there may be people who intend to play the game and haven't played the game. But there's a point where there's a certain something that happens, and depending on the way you interact, it can change the character involved, or characters involved, permanently. I'm a little bit cautious about this. I mean, this is just an observation. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or a hindrance. She did a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. Or he can take more control. I mean, it could be that she's stepping in when he can't face a problem, but perhaps if he faces his problems more. But I think Linda would actually lean towards this. And I know that sounds crazy, but the only thing that's swaying Glyndor away from this towards this one is the idea that it might not be the best for Aloth in terms of just Aloth, but like his own development. At the same time, right now, this could actually be helping him quite a lot, and maybe if he embraced it, it would lead to something else. You never know what's around the corner. Whereas this one's more of a, you just need to take control. It's kind of a known quantity. It's the whole, rather the devil you know than the devil you don't. But I actually think that Glyndor might be the sort of person who would prefer the unknown. So if you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that, he scowls. But you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Glyndor. He does not look at Bella Sage. I'm so sorry, Bella Sage. She sets her notes on the desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of reviewer, Fentra Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Bella Sage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. No, you get your explanation and she gets her research. That was the deal. Aloth. Aloth, you are Glyndor's friend, not Bella Sage. And perhaps what we've discovered is nothing that we didn't already know. But she helped us form that opinion. She brought this to a head. But Glyndor's loyalty is to you. As much as this is going to pain him, and he is going to feel so terribly guilty about this, perhaps we will send her someone else that we find eventually, or gold or something. But oh damn it means so much to her. But this damn it, Aloth. Damn Glyndor for having such keen vision. His heart is going to be heavy on this, but again, his loyalty is to his friends. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry. We'll see to this on our own. Hello, Isilmir. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Aloth, you're a scallywag. Scallywag who pulled me into this. Two-sided. After hearing about how Isilmir showed up to Aloth's abusive father, I suggested that she may be more helpful than Aloth realizes. He acted skeptical, but I believe he's giving the matter some thought. Poor old Bella Sage. What have we got with this? Deceptive, honest. I'm deceptive and I'm honest. I'm rational, passionate, diplomatic, stoic, clever, and benevolent. I'm very benevolent. Okay, well, my reputation isn't too bad. Aloth, you are a scoundrel. I'm going to go and have a chat with her. Sintry, but I am busy. I seem to have misplaced my notes. I just hope you can remember what you saw. I mean, you only happened a few seconds ago. Aloth, you boshed het. Okay, well, let's have a look in here then. Close that door, because I've got a funny feeling we may be doing something even worse than we just did. In a corner of Mordred's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Leave the trunk alone. Because Mordred is right there. Unexpected results. The canine host was listless and unresponsive, but it was determined that it was simply the implanted feline soul. Yarn resulted in vigorous stimulation. Oh, those cats. Right, well, Mordred, I want to chat with you. An Animancer scribbles feverishly on parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Good day, stranger.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Just looking around. What are you working on? Has anything unusual happened around here? You must be joking. This is the sanitarium. Nothing is usual down here. He pauses. Although, now that I think of it, the patients seem more agitated lately. But they're Caedmon Azo's responsibility, not mine. Mordred nods, taking a deep breath. Then, if there's nothing else... What are you working on? My area of focus is witches. Witches. I can't say that word. Damn it! The ch and the t are too close together. Witches. More specifically, how to cure them. Why do you study witches? He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? His face has reddened, and he turns away from you for a moment. Shakes his head. Animancy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out, sorry. What is a witch? I'm just going to call them wicht, because that's so much easier for my Welsh pronunciation bias. A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of the Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall, and despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we paid dearly for our mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. I see. Good. He looks eager to return to his work. Does the name Helig mean anything to you? Mordred starts. Helig? Is a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the Valian Republics. He leans forward. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard. Perhaps you haven't. Do you know a woman named Rowena? No, I don't get out of the sanitarium much. About Helig. Mordred smoothed his robes. As I said, he no longer works here. I am afraid I heard differently. He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you I'm not in... it's in very poor taste. Might 13 would have helped me here. So you didn't sink a blade into his chest and dump him into the catacombs. He'll be relieved to hear it. No, this is serious. Helig wasn't joking, and neither am I. I've had enough of these baseless... Mordred pauses. Wait. You spoke to Helig? He's talkative for a dead man. But that's... He frowns. If anyone figured out how to do that, it would be him, wouldn't it? He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well. Yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls. And for what? He flayed the essence from Glamfathan indignance. Glamfathan indigence for his amusement. Maybe indigenous Glamfathan. I'm not sure about that word. I do apologize. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of his deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. He jabbed a finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and sizes you up. Anyway, now you know the whole grisly story. Helix said you stole a grimoire from him. Helix's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. Hardly brave, stabbing a man in his sleep. So you killed him to save your own reputation? Let's interrogate him a little bit further. I mean, bravery has no power. If you're going to have to kill someone, then do it when they're not going to kill you back first. Or rather, kill you first. He couldn't really... Well, actually, in his case, he could kill him back. But so you killed him to save your own reputation? He snorts. The reputation of the whole discipline, rather. You realize there are groups in the city looking for an excuse to have us all hanged? He shakes his head. I won't see the knowledge we've worked so hard for lost because of one man's madness. Glyndŵr, as much as Dalton wants to see Rowena, the cackle in Helig gives Glyndŵr the very strong impression that if there's anything left of Rowena, it is twisted. And maybe that's the release she seeks. I don't think giving him back the grimoire would be a wise idea. Helig's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. No doubt. He spreads his hands wide. But now you understand why I killed him. Why someone had to. If he sent you, I only hope I can convince you to return and slay him once and for all. I'll finish him. I'll consider it. Perhaps I'll be going. Alex said you stole a grimoire from him. Mordred's brow furrows. His grimoire? What's that madman been telling you? I'm not in the mood for games, Mordred. Hand it over. He said you kept it in that trunk over there. Mordred takes the key with a trembling hand, his eyes darting to the trunk behind you. You've been misled. There's no grimoire here, and Helig never intended you to find one. That wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood. He shudders. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return and slay him once and for all. He has something I need. I don't know what he's promised you, but he's already lied to you about the grimoire. I don't have it. If what I've told you about that evil, deceitful man hasn't swayed you, I don't know what else to say. He turns back to his papers. Trust him at your own peril. Well, there's now no way to get in here. Nothing grabs your attention except for the large padlock on the front. Whatever this animancer keeps in here does not want anyone else to have or see it. Open the trunk. A heavy lock holds the mechanism. Try to complicate it. You'll need to find the key. Leave the trunk alone. Well, we've made our choice. It would have been nice to know what was in there, but... retrieve Helig's research from Mordred's laboratory. I've entered Brackenbury's sanitarium. According to Helig, Mordred keeps everything of value in a trunk in his laboratory. He's given me a key to open it. Mordred confessed to killing Helig, but also explained that Helig was a vile and dangerous man. I could continue helping Helig, or I could return to the catacombs and finish what Mordred started. Let's have a word with him again.
Good day to you.
No, I don't think there's anything else. Okay, well, that's a loss to me. Whatever's in there is staying in there, and Glyndŵr is just going to have to be curious about it. But that's par for the course. We make these decisions. You can't always know what consequence will come from them. But it's what I like about games like this. Perhaps in another playthrough I'll find out what's in there. Who can say? But not for this one. Ah, there was something on that wall. Damn it! Oh, wait. Was it something I could take? No. Okay, fair enough. I can stay then. Goodbye. Just rushing around the place. Ooh, we can unlock this one.
I'll handle this.
There we are. Ooh, okay. North Ward patient record. Betixia, the Pale Lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and severe depression resulting from guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. Graham. Subject is male, approximately early 30s, powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of over-fragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. Northward patient, record Idleman, the Midnight Man. Subject is male, mid-20s, displays acute disassociation and paranoid delusional tendencies, causing anger and extreme violence. Dangers of working with the subject preclude possibility of further use in present research. Uskrim. Subject is a male, approximately 17 years of age, admitted for episodes of catatonia, followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject in present research. We'll be taking all of those, thank you very much. Azo. Cademan Nazo was absent from his office, and he's evidently been running some secret experiments. I should take this up with Head Warden. Whether this is connected to the Laden Keys operation remains to be seen. What else have we got in here? Note from Azo. Ripley. I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with the Head Warden's inevitable questions. Okay. Hello, Ripley.
Well met, friend.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of books in front of her. Row by row, her motions quick and skittish, like a bird's. She does not notice you until you're nearly upon her. Oh my! You startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm looking for... what do you do here? We'll go with this one. I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Me? I'm just Master Azo's assistant. But there's a visiting scholar from Revua here named Belisage. She claims to know about them. Farewell, Ripley. I hope you've got nothing to do with this. Don't know why, I hope. Come on, close the door. Be polite. Right, the final room that we're going to explore. Now, you know what? We should be sneaking around. Kana, it's okay.
Hello?
Don't worry, Kana. We're here. The edges of the cage are dented and scorched with claw marks. Oh, dear me. Okay, well, perhaps we are going to head up and talk with the head warden of the sanitarium about Azo. That will be in the next episode, however, and then we're probably going to come back down and explore more of this area. But until then, and as always, do take care